Well, the government's got them. Now, we have a quarry that is being, it's in the works of being
Yes.
reopened, and they're going to try to truck 75 loads of crush, or well, actually slab rock, a day through our community here at FMP headquarters, the upriver community. That's going to destroy our roads. It's going to destroy our tourism. It's going to destroy this whole community.
Yep.
We have two endangered species that live in that exact same environment that they're talking about opening. Now, I'm curious if all of a sudden there was irrefutable proof. Oh my God, Bigfoot came walking out of the woods. There he is. He's been seen by the Washington State Department of Fish and Game. They shook his hand, captured him, whatever. Would that shut down the quarry?
Shook his hand. Seriously, shook his hand.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen. You know it would. But, why won't they come out and say there's been so much evidence, there's been so many reports, so many, and I agree, Gary. Orbs and Bigfoot, and love and light and Bigfoot do not belong in the same sentence.
Thank
I
you.
fully agree with you.
Thank you.
I've never, and when you said that, I about choked because I've never heard of a case with Bigfoot and orbs. I just haven't, not together.
There's a doctor.
I don't think,
there's a doctor. There's a doctor, psychiatrist. It claims that.
I don't get it. Now, I won't say, in my opinion, Bigfoot's not going to just jump out and attack you for no reason. In your case, I think maybe, and just speculation, obviously, maybe they had young in the area. Maybe they, for whatever reason, that particular location you guys were in was, for some reason, highly territorial. I don't know. I've heard more cases of aggressive swamp ape in the Florida Everglades and in the South, but I'm sorry, if I live in the South, well, I was in the South for 3 years. It's hot, it's humid. If you have a lot of fur, you're going to be extremely pissed off all the time, too.
Yep.
So, but being here, I would have to say, I think the biggest reason they won't actually come out and irrefutably say, yes, they're here, is one, monetary. You're going to have, I think in their fear, we're going to lose tourism if we say Bigfoot's real and he's here in the Cascades, which I don't agree with because I think it's going to bring more tourism in. And two, just like the spotted owl in Oregon, they're going to shut down logging and quarries.
Yep.
Because Bigfoot's an endangered species.
Right. It'll be just like the spotted owl, which is just a subspecies of the barred owl. It's not really that. But, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Plus, once you declare it's real, now you have to decide, well, how close to us are they? Do they get human rights? Do they fall under the tribal, something tribe? You open up such a can of worms. Plus, and I don't like to ever say attribute anything benevolent to the government, but maybe they realize that by saying they're real, you're going to get these jackasses that got to have a trophy of everything in the world hanging in their, they're going to open up that species to predatory hunting that might otherwise, there's people out there, who are trophy hunters who don't believe in Bigfoot, therefore they haven't gone out looking. So now you say these things exist, this guy's going to load up his 303 and go out in the woods or his Winchester Wind Mag, and he's going to try and bag himself a Bigfoot.
Right.
The fact that they're not considered a real animal by the mainstream might be a way of protecting them.
It could be. Now, can you remember the TV show Killing Bigfoot? I mean, that's not too far-fetched. You know darn well if they came out and there was a Bigfoot, somebody is going to want to go out there and try to kill it.
Right.
So, Nikki's got a question. Has anyone on the team had telepathic communication with Bigfoot? No, we have not. I don't think he's capable. I'm going to say that now. I think he's intelligent. Don't get me wrong. I think he's spiritual. I think he's interdimensional. I think he can shift. But telepathic, if I was a Bigfoot, I wouldn't want to be telepathic with humans either. Just saying.
Well, I've often thought that maybe when you read the descriptions of how they behave, how encounters have gone,
right,
it's almost shamanic.
Now, look at the Native American lore.
Right.
You know.
Maybe there are cultures who attribute the fact that we walk on two legs to hairy man, because apparently there was a debate, and let's take this myth for what it is. It's a way of explaining things. There was a four-legged entity called Coyote who wanted us to walk on all fours. Hairy Man said, no, these are my brothers. They will walk on two legs like I do. Now, take that with a scientific view. You have a four-legged entity that's come along at the very dawn of our race, where we were basically we were pretty much ambling around on all fours like chimps. And maybe this other entity, this hairy man entity, said, no, they're going to evolve along my way. And the way the myth gets turned into Coyote and hairy man, it might have been some kind of four-legged reptilian and a Wookiee for all we know. But it has come down through the oral tradition as Coyote and hairy man debating about our future. There could be so much about our origins and our development as a race in that simple tale, but because it comes from an oral native tradition, it's that's a cute story.
Yeah, it's a fable. It's a fairy tale.
I kind of see it a little bit different. I've never heard that version, and when you said coyote, I saw like a skinwalker.
Yeah.
Well, coyote in Native American lore, coyote is not, skinwalker has a negative connotation.
Yeah.
Coyote does not have a negative connotation. He's a trickster. Yeah. He'll screw you out of your dinner, or he'll, sleep with your woman or your man. He's a trickster, or I should say it is a trickster spirit. It will do things to satisfy its own, does it for its own giggles and grins, but then again, it doesn't go out to cause harm. And when you get the skinwalker is totally evil connotation. How you even become a skinwalker, but in native lore is, it's evil at its inception. And I don't get that with coyote. I think the coyote, the trickster spirit, is a separate entity.
But I'm going to play devil's advocate with Skinwalker, because to my perception of Skinwalker is he was actually a guardian of the woods. And you didn't get attacked unprovoked unless you said his name disrespectfully, for one, and were in the wrong place, for two. Wow. I can hear a pin drop.
Well, I'm I'm ordering my thoughts. In modern, in the modern take, I think a skinwalker has more the connotation of an evil shaman type.
Right.
It's not that this isn't like a guardian of the woods like maybe Hairy Man or in Celtic Green Man. the Green Man. It's
Right.
more of a, a skinwalker is, you don't murder somebody to gain the ability to be a skinwalker unless you've got nefarious. To me, it seems like you'd have to have nefarious goals in mind to go down that path.
So think tribal. If you're Navajo and you're over in Comanche land hunting, that Comanche skinwalker is going to go after you because you're Navajo and you're in another tribe's land.
Ah, okay.
Not like Bigfoot.
I see what you're getting at. Yeah.
Not like Bigfoot. Bigfoot's the guardian of the mountains. I get that. I have no problem with that. I'm talking guardian of the tribal land. So if the white man goes into tribal land, yeah, you have to worry about the skinwalker.
I guess I was focusing more narrowly on like the Skinwalker Ranch, or the more,
I think
there's probably a gradient or a continuum of what a Skinwalker can be. Yes, a guardian shaman, or a spiritual shaman, something that a shaman sets up to be a spiritual guardian. But then I think you've also got that skinwalker that is the evil shaman that, chooses the dark side of the force, so to speak.
Right. I think also modern society or modern perception has watered down and tainted a lot of it. You have to look at First Nations lore to actually get the true story.
And they don't like to talk about, that's one of the things, they don't like to be open and talk about a lot of, like Wendigo, Shunkawarrick, and Skinwalker, because it's sort of by naming it, you give it strength. By naming it, you attract it to yourself.
Right. Now, Wendigo is another interesting character, because Wendigo started out as a cannibal, I believe.
Well, yeah, the idea of the Wendigo is this spirit of hunger. Mm-hmm. And, you think about this, where that myth comes from is in Canada and up, the plain states. You have a long winter up there. And you're snowed into your teepee, you're snowed into your whatever.
Cool.
We're thinking Donner Party.
Cool. What were you told as a child about Wendigo? Were you told about Wendigo as a kid?
Who?
God, no. Honestly, no.
Oh.
No?
No, so I am a Native American, but I was raised very, very, very Catholic.
Oh, okay.
Me too.
It wasn't until I was probably 14 when I started actually looking into my own culture, and it's not a popular story up there, honestly, about the Wendigo. Probably because, well, the
it's
whole
creepy.
idea, and the fact that, honestly, back in the day, is how I'd put it, I guess. Cannibalism was more common than you'd think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those taboo things that people will not talk about, especially Native tribes. But it had to happen for the tribe to continue.
Right. Now, real quick, on the Native American side, I'm trying to get a Lummi Island contact. Lummi Island is
I wanted to bring one thing up, Eric.
Yeah, go ahead.
With the whole Bigfoot thing that you had brought up with the quarry.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked at the law. There are only 2 states in Washington, or 2 counties, in Washington that are considered Sasquatch refugees by law. Or
Which ones?
refuge.
Skamania
and Whatcom.
Yep. And Whatcom.
They are also the only 2 counties where it is actually illegal by law to kill Bigfoot.